Hey all, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing issue 8, pack 8 of Build the Ghostbusters Ecto 1, which includes stages 23, 24, 25, and 26. Got some bigger-ish heavy pieces going with this, so we're going to finish off kind of the tail end of the main part of the car, and we'll get to see just how long this thing is going to be. So, all right, let's get going. All right, so here's the magazine. Got parts that we're putting in. We'll get the floor, suspension, some of the stuff up front, the horn and things like that. We're also going to be putting in the battery and the radiator, things about what we're doing, and then some stuff about Bill Murray, more Ghostbusters information, and then next set of parts looks like it's going to be like the firewall and some exhaust stuff, maybe the some stuff in the rear wheel-wise. So we'll let's get started on this. So this is pack 23. This is all metal in here, so let me open this up and we'll get going. Okay, got all my screws laid out, the parts. First thing we're going to be doing is putting in these, they're calling them shock absorbers, into the bracket here, and we're going to be screwing those in with AP screws. Now it's just going to go in kind of like this, and there's a bit of a bend on this side here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it does kind of go up. So that's going to go so that it is going kind of away from that. Alright, so we put those in with AP screws. Alright, that's the second one. Don't tighten these things up too much. So it'll look like that when we're all finished. Then we're going to put this into this piece. Let's make sure we get this the right way around. This way, so that the lip is coming up. And then we're going to be putting this into Alright, so there's a bit of a little pin here, and that's going to go into this hole here to kind of line things up. And then there's the other parts will fit into a couple of screw holes here on the bottom, and that will get put in attached with a couple of JP screws. Alright, and the next thing, while this is flipped over, we're going to be adding in the wheel wells. One on each side. These are rear wheel wells. It does say left and right, so this is the back of the car. That will be correct. And these are going in with 3 DM screws on each side. Alright, and number 3. Okay, now I'm going to move this out of the way for a bit. So I'm going to be bringing over the rest of the car. And I'm also going to bring my little mat over, which, yes, it is a pet bed, in case you're wondering. Alright, so I've gotten the mat out. I've got the rest of the car up here. First thing we're going to be doing is adding this back piece onto where these 6 screw holes are here. And these are going to be going on with LM screws. Okay. It's the last of those. Oh gosh. This gets this to its overall length. My word. Okay, now we're going to flip this over. And we're going to be getting this piece out that we had from the last time. And we're going to be installing that now. This is going to go into several of the holes here. We want to make sure that we don't have any wires that are being trapped. Those little guys come up over the top. Okay. So this basically will go in like that. And then flip this back over again, and we put in 10 CM screws to hold all this together. Alright, and with that in, that is the last thing we're doing in that stage. You can see the bottom of it. Okay. Alright, so with stage 24, we've got more fender parts, this time for the front. We've got a radiator and some other stuff. So let's get that going. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is fit the wheel wells up front. Oh, okay. So there's a couple of holes that these little pins stick through, and that's going to be for future screws, it looks like. These get held on with 2 DM screws up front, an HM and a CM screw back here. Alright, so big NM screw over here, CM screw here. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. Last screw there, and next thing we're going to do is work on the radiator. So that comes in 4 parts plus a hose. First thing we do is we put the top in so that this post is facing to the right as you look at it from the front, and that is going to be screwed in from back here with 2 DP screws. Going into plastic, you just want to snug it up. You don't want to tighten it too hard. We're going to be putting this other half in. Well, it can really kind of go one way because of the rounded ends on one side. And that is going to be attached in with 4 HP screws. Okay, so just like that. Then we're we're going to be putting on the cap. This goes so that the pin here is facing out this way. There's it's a little D-shaped pin and a hole there, so you can really only go one way. And then we're going to be adding in the radiator hose. Just going to open up the end of that a little bit and slide that over. That's all there is to do in that stage. Alright, and for stage 25 we have what they're saying are the horns and the junction box. Small pack, lots of little parts, so let's get going. Alright, so first thing we're going to be doing is starting the radiator beam, which is going to hold the whole thing together. This is metal. I think most of the rest of the stuff in here is plastic. Excuse me. And we're going to first be fitting these two pieces onto the beam. There's a hole and a tab here. They go in like that. They both of these go the same orientation. I thought maybe it was a mirror image thing, but it is not. And they get held in with DM screws. Alright, next thing we have is these two little parts, which they're saying is a junction box. Looks like this kind of gets flipped over. There is a place there's a pin and a little hole to match it. There's a hole for a screw, so we flip that around like that. Yes. And then we put a single screw in on this side, which is going to be an HP screw. Alright. And then this gets attached to the beam in the same orientation. Down here at this end, there's a couple little notches here, and that gets held in, since this is metal, with EM screws. Alright. Now, we're calling these walls. Alrighty. So it looks like this, with the four little holes on this side, is going to go off to this side. That goes over. There's a little notch here, so that it fits over the top of this little bar that we put in, and that just gets screwed into these two spots with DM screws again. Slightly easier to see on this with this orientation. Alright, so that's in. We do the exact same thing on this side with two more DM screws. Alright, just like that. So it'll look like that, and that's... Alright, next thing we're going to do is the horns. Next thing we're going to do is the horns. Now these are basically two of the same thing. This piece goes over the top like that. There is this little connector. It has a pin that goes into this hole, and that all gets screwed together with a single HP screw. Alright, let's get the screw started. It isn't so bad. Now, these are going to go somewhere. Okay. Flip all this over. This one here there's a pin and a place for a screw. There's also a hole here with another little place here. So that's going to go in like that with an HP screw. This bottom one, the pin is going to go into the bottom hole. The screw goes into the top hole. All right. So that's going to look like that when that's done. Now, we're going to flip this back around again, and we're going to be putting in the radiator. Just see. All right. So in that orientation, so if it's like this, the radiator cap is going to be going the opposite way of that, and there are 4 holes here, which seems funny, but anyway, we're going to be putting these in on either side here with DP screws. Okay, and that's that in. It will go like that once it's in the car. And there is still a hose to put in. I'm going to put that in the very first thing on the next pack, because I have to have the rest of the car over. Alright, and that's more or less all there is to do in that stage. Alright, and the final stage of this pack, final pack in this stage, final stage in this pack, I guess, is stage 26. We're going to be doing the battery and the oil reservoir. Alright, as I said, I just wanted to get the car over before I put the last piece in. This little tube is going to be going on this little pin on the alternator, and then that just stays loose on this end for now. Okay, now let's get to the final stage of what we're doing. Alright, first thing, control box. Alright, control box. Let me back this up a bit. I'm going to kind of keep the car up here because we're going to be using it. Control box is these two pieces. This goes over the top, like so, and is held from underneath with 2 DP screws. Okay, and then once that's together, it goes onto this wall here, hole for the pin, and then 2 screw holes, and that gets held in from this side with a pair of IP screws. Alright, that's the second one. It really would be helpful to have a third arm sometime. That was way more fiddly than it needed to be. Alright. Next thing, we're going to be doing the battery and the little support plate. Now, for this, I think it's probably just good time to do the, I've got a little thing from Mike Lane Mods, and what it is kind of a surround that you put around the battery so it looks a little better than just than just blank plastic. This is really nice. It has adhesive already attached. 2 short sides, 2 long sides. Looks like they're identical on either end, so I'm going to go ahead and start lining up with that side. That side first. Pull this off a little bit more. There's actually metal on the back of this, so it's really quite nice. That bends down onto there. Pull this off a little bit more. This one bends down onto that. Pull this off for the final. And then that just goes like that. Very simple, but very effective. It looks fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. There's 2 pegs inside here. One peg is a little closer to a wall that obviously goes this way. And that gets held in from underside here with 2 DP screws. And then we'll mount it to the... Yeah. So that's in like that. And then this gets mounted to this side over here. It's going in with 3 IP screws, so there's 2 holes for pins and then 3 holes for screws. Screw in. Okay, and that looks like that. So, I'm going to be doing the oil reservoir. We have an oil cap that goes on to this. It says oil. And that's going to be held in from the underside. This just has a round hole and a round pin. But that's going to hold in from the other side with a single EP screw. Right, kind of way down in there. So that looks like that when it's done. And then the base of it, get rid of the fluff. Base of it goes on this way, and that gets held in with a DP screw. And that looks like that. And then this, actually, will be going into the front of the car. So that will sit... Which way around? This way around? Right in here on these 2 little things here. And that will be held in, for some reason, with a DM screw on one and an EM screw on the other. Alright, now next thing we're going to do is put the this whole apparatus that we've been building into the car. This is going to kind of slide into place like this. There is a screw hole on either side here, and that is going to be going in with EM screws, but first we will attach this hose. We have one up top, and we also have one at the bottom. There it goes. Okay. And it all just slots in together really nicely when you get it in the right way. Okay, now EM screws. end of this that we just put in earlier is going to go into this first pin down on this side, maybe. Like that. Okay. Alright. I've got a couple more things to do here. Microscopic little 26i piece that I'm sure I'm going to drop and lose is going to go here. There's a pin that holds it and then a screw that holds it from this side, and that is going to be put in with an EP screw. Oh, I'm so surprised I didn't use it. And then we have left, we have two ports here for the battery, two little terminals that are silver, and two pieces of tubing, which are going to be battery cables. What we do is we put a battery cable into each one of these. I'm using the tweezer, the pointy end of the tweezer, to kind of open up the end of that tube a little bit more. Alright, and then we have one going in, and these appear to be there's a pin and a thing, and these are kind of set up so they only really can press in one direction here. So this one's going on this side. This one is going to this terminal. This end is going into the little silver guy that we just put in. I'm assuming this is kind of a ground. And then this one is going into the other side of where we just put this hose in. Just like that. That wasn't so bad. Alright, and with that, that is all there is to do in that stage, and that's all there is to do in that pack. So this is pretty cool. I love it when these things get to the point where they start actually looking like something. Okay, so that was fun. We got quite a bit done. This is a long boy. I love it. So, and there's still going to be bumpers on the ends of this. So it's going to even be a little smidgy longer. I had to get another. I like to keep everything that I'm building in kind of a little build box, I call it. And I had to get a giant kind of wheels on rolly tub sort of thing to fit this thing in, and then I have a whole separate box full of mods and mats and screwdrivers and different things. So this is quite the thing. Enjoying this all quite a bit, and anyway. I hope you got something out of that, and we will see you next time. The next pack should be coming hopefully in the next few weeks. So we'll see you then. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it very much. And you can like and follow me. That would be great. And we'll see you next time. All right, go build something, and have some enjoyable time. All right. Thanks very much.